Hi there, I'm Katy Rose, and welcome to the Rooted Reinvention, a podcast exploring the real-world journey of reinventing who we are without burning out or burning our whole life down. I teach people how to make lasting change by melding my Masters of Neuroscience and my Cognitive Therapy qualification with common self-help tools, spiritual concepts, and my personal experience. Because being yourself doesn't need to feel so damn hard. To get more information on podcast episodes, please visit rootedreinvention.com/podcast. One of the things that I've been doing is I actually signed up for a 2-week free trial of SkillllShare. This is not sponsored. I do have a code down in the description or show notes if you want to try it for 2 weeks yourself for free, and I will get a little bit of, I think I'll get a credit or something for that. But I found that actually I could just learn. It then recommended a basic drawing video for me, which was a couple more hours. But I just wanted to share that there are 2 things that I've learned from these art lessons, which are just the teacher of the class, so I'll link that below in case you want to watch, but he spoke about doing layers of colour. Now, I'm in my 30s. I did not think I needed to learn how to colour in a black and white picture with a colouring pencil. Turns out, I did. And to me, there was almost this natural delight at discovering, oh my goodness, I never knew how to colour in. And so he was layering the same colour on top of itself, and it did give a smooth finish rather than having what looks like, you know, when you colour something in just with one layer and it's just line, 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 line. He did about 4 layers, I think, of very gentle colouring in of this kid's top he'd drawn. You know, it was just a simple example. Now, I expect I'm probably the only person who didn't know that that's how you colour in, but I have never thought of, when I'm colouring in a picture, to go over the bit that I've just coloured again with the same colour. And it made me think about, what else are we missing in our lives? Well, we've always done the same thing. We've never looked at other opportunities because, of course, I don't need to learn that thing. And there was just something about reframing what is useful information, reframing how productive I'm being, reframing wasting of time. And that was just something that really kind of stuck out for me, I guess. As I say, I completely appreciate I might be the only person who in their 30s didn't know that, but I'll happily share it with you. And the second sort of skill, I guess, that the teacher spoke about in the same lesson was about doing thumbnail sketches. So as far as I was concerned, when you're doing a piece of artwork, you sketch it out in pencil, and then you kind of rub it out and keep sketching and rub it out and keep sketching until you get what you're happy with, and then you go over it in pen, or colour it in, or whatever paint it, whatever your next kind of step is. I think there were about 5 steps between the person saying, I'm going to draw something like this, and actually drawing it onto the piece of paper that he was going to use for his final piece. And again, that was something that I've never really considered. And again, if you know about art, if maybe you've just had more experience of other things that I guess I've missed in my life, then this may not be rocket science to you. And as soon as I saw it, I could see, oh my goodness, yes, that makes total sense. I've just never questioned it. And again, this was another place where I found that kind of delight of, oh my goodness, how can I apply this? So he did 4 thumbnail sketches, and every sketch wasn't the same thing. It was the concept was obviously the core concept of what he wanted to draw. He already knew, but he did 4 different ways of doing it. So trying different things in the foreground, different angles, having a dog in one of them and not in the other. Kind of the way that he was kind of exploring his ideas in these thumbnail sketches. And I instantly paused the video and went over to a project that I'm currently working on, a workbook that I'm currently working on for Reinvention, and was like, I could do 4 thumbnail versions of this in probably about 15 minutes, where I list out what needs to be in each one, because I was struggling with what contents to include and which ones to leave out, when you don't want to write a 400-page workbook when you want it to be helpful and useful within 10 or 15 minutes, but also you don't want to cut something out that's really important or useful or going to be really helpful for someone. And so I ended up doing a thumbnail sketch of, well, it could look like this. And then thought, well, that feels like this is missing. So then I did the second one where I listed that thing first and went, well, what would that link to and how would that work? And you could do this with like spider diagrams. Mine was just a list with headings because that's how I work. But the idea of how often do we go through our life and do a thumbnail sketch of what we want? So I'll leave that link for SkillllShare down below. As I say, it won't cost you anything for 2 weeks. If you do sign up after that, it won't cost you any more going through my link than going through the main site. I'll also link the specific art class where the teacher covers layering of colour, which, to be fair, he doesn't teach because I don't think he thought he needed to. And the thumbnail sketches, which, again, I've just gone and taken the concept of and put on a workbook I'm writing in a list. So not even using the skills that he's actually teaching, but connecting the dots to my own life and just kind of almost being rewarded for following delight instead of always focusing on achievement. As always, thank you so much for listening. I hope you are all well and safe and that the world isn't too strange or scary for us this week. And I will speak to you again next week. Bye. Thanks for listening, and as always, you can find out more at rootedreinvention.com. Take care, remember you are more capable than you often realise, and I'll see you next time. Bye.